Here's a great question. Can you see the flood in this yard? Would a series of catch basins prevent this flood, or do you need a French drain? In other words, could we catch the water before the ground becomes saturated and floods? So here's how that little $15 catch basin can truly save you thousands of dollars over installing a French drain.
Hey, good afternoon. Chuck here with Apple Drains. This morning I went to buy a case of these little round 6x6 catch basins. I've showed you that video before, how this little $15 catch basin can save you so much money over installing a French drain. And unfortunately, they didn't have them at Lowe's, so I had to go to Home Depot. While I was in Home Depot, I noticed this big 12 by 12 with the steel grate. And I also noticed that it has been redesigned. Can you see all those knockouts? So this is the new NDS, new and improved 12 by 12 catch basin. And what they're advertising is they've got knockouts for all different sizes, the correct depth. If you're going to use concrete to different loads, you can see the different lines. All kinds of sizes. All different sizes. They call them knockouts, but you still need to use a saw to cut them out.
But remember, it's not the size of the catch basin that makes it work better. It is the outlet, the discharge portion of that catch basin that makes it function better or worse. These are all exactly the same, 3.5 inches. So what they've done is they've redesigned the 12 by 12 to actually accept 4-inch pipe.
Let's take a look at what they did. NDS must have seen my video. It has nearly 2 million views talking about how there's no difference between this little 6x6 catch basin and the 12 by 12 catch basin. First of all, what is a catch basin? A catch basin is exactly what the name says. It catches debris. Can you see the space below the outlet of the pipe? This allows debris to sit down in the bottom of the basin and water still can travel out the pipe. It's the same on the 9x9, but it's a little bit smaller. Debris can gather in the bottom of the basin and water can still travel out of the pipe. Even on my favorite little 6x6 catch basin, 15 bucks, it does the same thing. It has a small area underneath of the outlet that debris can build up, but water can still travel out of the pipe. So you can put any of these catch basins in the lowest portion of your yard. And when it rains hard, I mean really hard, water travels across the ground, drops into the catch basin, and the pipe carries it away. But remember, when it's raining really hard, I mean really hard, even this big 12 by 12, it fills up like that. So much water is coming across the ground, it fills up this basin, but what makes it work is the outlet. But take a look. Can you see any difference in the outlet of these catch basins? They're both 3.5 inches, exactly the same.
So you might say that that big 12 by 12 is much larger than the smaller 6x6. But remember, it's the outlet that makes the difference. The only real difference between that big 12 by 12 and the 6x6 is the depth of the outlet on the catch basin.
This is a 4-inch outlet, so they say. Same thing on the 9x9. They say it's a 4-inch outlet. And the same thing 6x6. They say it's a 4-inch outlet. But take a look. Can you see any difference in the outlet of these catch basins? They're both 3.5 inches, exactly the same. So you might say this little 9x9 is bigger than the 6x6. And you might also say that the 12 by 12 is bigger than the 6 by 6 and the 9 by 9, but not really. By adding an extension onto the small basin, we can cut this off to any level, put the grate on the top, and we can extend this down to any depth that we want. And you can see it can easily rival the 12 by 12. In fact, it could be deeper. So what changes did NDS make to their catch basin? Can you see all the knockouts they put on the side? They made a series of knockouts for different sizes of pipe. You still need a hole saw or a saw to cut these out, but now you can be at different levels and actually have a larger diameter pipe that discharges from the basin. This one with the steel grate is designed to be in concrete, and they actually put, can you see it? They actually put guides for how much concrete is needed to withstand certain loads. So they've got guides on the side of how deep the concrete has to be to hold the catch basin in place. They also redesigned the plug. If you just want one outlet, the plug now snaps in place, tightens up, and that really gives you much more depth inside of your basin, much more area inside the basin. So they redesigned that. On the bottom, they created knockouts. Take a screwdriver, hammer, pop those out, and what that does, it allows the water that is left over after it rains to drain out so you don't have any mosquitoes. So NDS also redesigned their Speed D basin, the little 6 by 6. I tried to find one, but I couldn't. So I went on their website, and what they say is that you can now take a hammer or a 2x4 and hit this and knock it out so that it truly accepts 4-inch pipe. Because right now, if you can see that, it's only a 3.5-inch opening, and it doesn't really match the inside diameter of the 4-inch. So here's the adapter that slides into the basin, and one way you can do this is to take a screwdriver and just hit that. So it does pop out with a great deal of work, and now the 4-inch does fit properly inside. So does the 4-inch corrugated. It fits properly inside, and now we have a true 4-inch outlet to allow the water to escape from the catch basin. Same on the 12 by 12. It's much easier with a hole saw. You can see, can you see that's the perfect opening for that 4-inch PVC. This is thin wall PVC. And we can line that up in the center of that hole. And we have a true 4-inch outlet. Perfect size. Can you see that? So this is a lot easier to use the hole saw. And I do like how they've redesigned it. You can have a 3-inch one at a much lower depth. There's another 4-inch here, 3-inch. Or you could cut out the entire adapter and put a third adapter on here. using a large screwdriver and a hammer, you can easily break these out. And that allows you to allow the water to drain from the basin. After it stops draining, that water will drain out. The one thing they didn't address is 6-inch pipe. And even with the knockout, the 4-inch knockout, you put the 6-inch on here, you can see it's got tremendous play and it's still only a 4-inch outlet. The only way that you're able to get 6-inch in here, the only way that you can get 6-inch in here is to actually slice the pipe. Four, 5, 6 inches, and you have to actually squeeze it together, and then you have to slide it inside of that adapter, and once inside, the pipe will actually expand. Can you see that? And you have a true 6-inch outlet. But they did make some changes to both the 12x12 and the 9x9, and I think they made them on the 6x6 as well. I just couldn't find a new one there at the store where I was at. Okay, so what we're doing is we're adding a double outlet catch basin to an existing line. I've done this many times, but it's a great little video to show you how to do this. Let me get on the other side so you can see it better. Basically, we're making a measurement. Remember that pipe's going to slide inside. There's a coupling in here. This pipe slides in this side. We're making that measurement to inside of the coupling. So right here, cut it off. Pretty easy. We're going to make the same measurement on the other side. Remember, it's inside the coupling, so it's going to look like it's short. Perfect. So you can see it looks like it won't fit, but it will. Let's go ahead and we'll do this side first. Sorry about the noise from the airplane. We're close to the Orlando airport. You just pop them together. Did that take very long? Not at all. And yeah, it doesn't cost a lot to do this, whether you pay somebody or you do it yourself. So now we're just going to set the catch basin grate back on the top. And we're going to backfill the area. We're also going to kind of move some of this soil so that it can actually drop into the basin and go into the sump pit.
So here we have a speed basin, 6x6 round catch basin. This is a double outlet. And this one's simple because grade is proper. In other words, when we put the lid on the top, when we put the grate on, it's just perfect for water to drop right down inside. But what if we've got a deeper trench? Remember, we can extend that with a piece of 6-inch SDR 35 and cut it to any length. Take a look.
So when you put your extension on, this grate, it just snaps right onto the top of your 6-inch pipe. And you can see how I've made it rise up from the catch basin because our line is much deeper. See how deep the line is, and we brought this up so that the surface water can now drop into the basin. And we are still, there's grade. Can you see my hand? Whoops. There's grade. So we want to be just a little bit below grade when we put that together. We have one more to do and we're all done. Go ahead and put the risers on here. You can see because our trench is going deeper, we want to be able to get that surface water to drop into our catch basin, so we need to extend it. And you can see the SDR 35, that 6-inch pipe. That's only available at Lowe's or a plumbing supply, but readily available at Lowe's. And you can see another one here where we had to extend the basin up so that we can get closer to grade. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.